The buzz around Angel Reese has never been quiet, but this time it hit a different tone, one that had fans, analysts, and even casual viewers leaning in a little closer. It all started with something that nobody expected to become a headline: a noticeably empty arena. In a league that's fighting hard for visibility and growth, optics matter, and when cameras pan across rows of unfilled seats, the conversation quickly shifts from basketball to something deeper. Reese, known for her confidence, energy, and unapologetic personality, didn't stay silent. After the game, her reaction carried weight, not just because of what she said, but because of what it represented. She's been one of the most talked about young stars in the game, a national champion in college, and a player who built her brand on passion and presence. So when she addressed the situation, people listened. The conversation, however, didn't stay focused on attendance for long. It quickly evolved into something much bigger, something that has been quietly simmering for months: the comparisons. And at the center of that storm sits Caitlin Clark. Clark's impact on the game is undeniable. From record-breaking scoring performances to sold-out arenas during her college run, she brought a level of attention to women's basketball that hadn't been seen in years. Her transition to the professional stage carried that momentum, and naturally created a benchmark, fair or not, that other players are now being measured against. That's where things got heated. The phrase "she's not Caitlin Clark" started circulating online, sparking debates that quickly divided fans into camps. Some argued it was an unfair comparison, pointing out that Reese and Clark are completely different players with different styles, roles, and strengths. Others leaned into the numbers, the attendance figures, the TV ratings, using them as ammunition in a growing narrative about star power and marketability. For Reese, this wasn't just about one game or one crowd. It was about respect. It was about how players are valued, how narratives are built, and how quickly the spotlight can shift from performance to perception. She's never been someone to shy away from attention. But there's a difference between embracing the spotlight and being boxed into someone else's shadow. And that's the core of this debate. Angel Reese isn't trying to be Caitlin Clark. She never has been. Her game is built differently: dominance in the paint, relentless rebounding, physicality, and an emotional edge that fuels her play. Clark, on the other hand, is known for her deep shooting range, playmaking, and offensive creativity. Comparing the two directly is like comparing completely different blueprints of success. But sports culture thrives on comparisons. It always has. From legends of the past to rising stars of the present, the question of who's better or who matters more is almost unavoidable. The problem is when those comparisons start to overshadow individual identity. What made this moment stand out wasn't just the debate, it was the timing. The league is growing, the audience is expanding, and new fans are discovering the game every day. There should be a moment of collective momentum, where multiple stars are lifting the sport together. Instead, narratives like this risk turning that growth into division. That at the same time, it's important to acknowledge the reality behind the conversation. Attendance and viewership are part of professional sports. They influence revenue, exposure, and opportunities. Clark's games have drawn massive attention, and that's a testament to her unique appeal and the way she connects with fans. But growth doesn't happen overnight for everyone, and it shouldn't be expected to follow a single path. Reese's reaction, in many ways, reflected that frustration. Not just personal frustration, but the kind that comes from seeing the bigger picture. She's part of a generation of players trying to push the league forward to build something lasting. In moments like this, empty seats, viral comparisons, polarizing debates can feel like steps backward. Still, there's another side to this story. Moments like these also bring attention. They spark conversation. They get people talking about the league, about the players, about the future of the sport. Even criticism, when it's rooted in genuine interest, can be a sign that people are paying attention. And attention, in the long run, is what drives growth. The key is what happens next. For Reese, the response will likely come the way it always has, through a play. She's built her reputation on resilience, on proving people wrong, on turning doubt into motivation. That doesn't change because of one game or one narrative. If anything, it adds fuel to the fire. For Clark, the spotlight will continue. Expectations will remain high, and every performance will be analyzed, praised, or criticized in equal measure. That's the nature of being a breakout star. But for the league, this moment serves as a reminder of where things stand. Growth is happening, but it's uneven. Tension is increasing, but it's concentrated. And the challenge moving forward is finding ways to elevate all stars, all teams, and all markets, not just a select few. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark. It's about the future of women's basketball. It's about creating an environment where multiple players can shine, where different styles can be celebrated, and where success isn't defined by comparison alone. The empty arena shock might have started the conversation, but it's what followed that truly matters. The reactions, the debates, the opinions, they all point to a league that people care about. Even if that care sometimes comes out in messy, complicated ways. And maybe that's the real takeaway here. The game is growing, the spotlight is getting brighter, and with that comes pressure, scrutiny, and yes, comparison. But it also brings opportunity for players like Angel Reese to carve out their own legacy, on their own terms, without needing to be anyone else, because she's not Caitlin Clark and she doesn't have to be.